On today's show, we've got an awesome one for you guys because Mel Kiper Jr. and Phil Yates combined their brain power, did a 3-round mock draft, and we're going to spend the next 10 to 15 minutes telling you every selection they made for Baltimore, reacting to the picks, and breaking it all down right here on the Ravens Rundown. Let's run you by some of the latest ESPN Plus mocks, okay? Phil Yates put out one about 2 weeks ago. He had James Pearce Jr. go to Baltimore at pick number 27. Mel Kiper Jr. did one last week. He had Malaki Starks, safety out of Georgia, going to number 27 to Baltimore. And so who will be the selection this time around? I'm going to tell you in just a little bit, because for that, I got to let you guys know, you got to hit that subscribe button, okay? Because ESPN Plus, they give you this content, but they do it for $120 a year. That's $10 a month. We give it to you right here, $0 a month, $0 a year, $0 a century. So that's why you got to hit that subscribe button. Never miss a moment, because we give you the best content right here on the Ravens Rundown. Already round one, pick number 27. The Baltimore Ravens select Malaki Starks, safety out of the University of Georgia. And I'm going to tell you, this seems like a legit possibility to me, okay? And I'm not just saying that because it's been on a lot of mocks recently, and because Mel Kiper went on the lounge earlier this week and talked about Malaki possibly going to Baltimore, but because I just think he'd be a perfect fit with the Ravens. I mean, talk about a guy, in my opinion, who plays like a Raven. Here's what Phil Yates had to say about the selection. This is what the Ravens do in the draft. They patiently allow the board to come to them and then snag rock-solid prospects. Stark would check a box at free safety and represent good value at the same time. His instincts, versatility, and ball skills would work well alongside Kyle Hamilton. I could not agree more, Phil Yates. And again, Mel Kiper went on with the lounge on Monday and said if Malaki Starks is there, forget pass rusher. That's intel that he knows about Baltimore that is A, they're very high on Malaki, and B, probably more high on Malaki than any other edge rusher that could fall to them at number 27. And it's not really a surprise why when you look at his 3 years he had at Georgia. Almost 200 combined tackles, 6 tackles for loss, 23 pass breakups, and 6 interceptions. He took a little bit of a step back in 2024, honestly, from his freshman year in 2022, but took a step up from 2023. And he was so incredibly important for that Georgia defense. And you got to look at the current state of this Ravens safety room. As of the time of this recording, Darius Washington is still a restricted free agent. And you know what? Who's to say that that doesn't change anytime soon? If you add Malaki Starks to this room, Darius Washington comes the best backup safety in the league. I love Darius, but I think Malaki Starks is a little bit more, jack of all tradesy than Darius is. Darius struggles a lot in coverage, and he's kind of the guy you want to go in there when it's first down, right? When it's an obvious run situation. But when it's third and long and you need a coverage safety in there, that's what Malaki Starks thrives at. And him and Kyle Hamilton with each other, that is game over. And Starks, to me, he kind of feels like the type of player that where after a few years, like 2027, maybe the end of the 2026 season, everybody's sitting there and saying, how was he able to fall that far to pick number 27? Kind of similar to how everybody said the same thing about TJ Watt a couple of years after he was drafted by Pittsburgh, okay? I think Malaki Starks has that potential. You make the call for me down below. Should the Ravens draft Malaki Starks? If you think so, go ahead, give me a Y for yes. And if you think they shouldn't, go ahead, give me an N for no in the comment section down below. So coming up, we've got Baltimore's round 2 and round 3 selections. So make sure that you guys stick around for those. But before we get into that, something else you guys got to stick around for is our awesome sponsor over at Game Time. They're the official ticketing partner of the Ravens Rundown. And what I love about Game Time is that they provide the easiest way to get sports on short notice. Sports tickets, and save up to 60% by buying last minute for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. And I know Baltimore doesn't have a basketball team, but the playoffs are here. And it doesn't matter who you cheer for, being in the building in that electric playoff atmosphere gives you memories you'll never forget for the rest of your life. There's easy to find and buy basketball tickets on Game Time and tickets for every kind of event in your area. Game Time is an awesome feature. It's called Zone Deals. And Game Time Zone Deals allow customers to purchase tickets for a general area of a venue rather than specific seats, offering potential discounts and flexibility for last-minute ticket buyers. Stick the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code ChatSports for $20 off your first purchase. It doesn't matter what team you like. It doesn't matter what sport you cheer for. Game Time has got you covered all over the map. Terms apply. Again, create an account and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It is game time. They went safety in round 1. Let's go edge rusher in round 2 with JT Tuimoloau. We're just going to call him JTT from here on out. And I love the fact that you go safety and edge. And I love the fact that they're hitting big needs early, okay? You need somebody in that secondary. Bad, whether it's a corner or safety. You need somebody to refresh this edge rushing group. And JTT can do exactly that. He played 16 games in 2024 along Ohio State's run for a national championship. Sorry, Jack. And he had 61 tackles along the way, 12.5 sacks, 51 pressures. Also got those paws up a good bit with 3 pass breakups and 2 forced fumbles. And I feel like JTT finally had the year, okay? Does anybody remember that Penn State game from 2 years ago? You might not. It might just be because I'm a college football sicko. But JTT absolutely took over the game, won the game for them. I believe he had 2 interceptions and like 3 sacks. It was unbelievable. That was his freshman year. And everybody from then on, going into sophomore year, expected a massive jump. They didn't get it. And then he comes in here and finally has it, right? That year that everybody had been waiting for, that he proves he's exactly what they thought when they recruited him as a 5-star. And, I mean, it was a solid one for JTT. A pass rush grade of 77.8. He's so great in the run as well, an 87.3 run defense grade. And also a pass rush win rate of 12.1%, meaning he got off his blocks within the first 2.5 seconds, 12.1% of the time. JTT is one of those guys who I believe just fits well, not only with this team and the defensive scheme, but I think also with the culture. He's not without his warts. He could be a little bit bigger. He could be a little bit faster. He could be a little bit more of a short tackler, but I think he's a really good risk to take in the second round at pick number 59. I think he could be a star. Let's go to round 3, round this one out with yet another defensive player, this time linebacker Demetrius Knight Jr. out of South Carolina. Here's what Phil Yates had to say about the prospect. Knight makes plays on the ball with 3 forced fumbles, 2 sacks, and a pick in his 1 season at South Carolina. He transferred from Charlotte after a few years at Georgia Tech. I like him next to Roquan Smith. And I don't hate him next to Roquan Smith at all. I really don't hate anybody next to Roquan Smith. But let's talk a little bit more about Knight. Start with the good, like always. He's just a really quality athlete. He has all those traits that you'd want to have in a linebacker. He's quick, he's big, right? And the great thing is his instincts have come along nicely. They've changed a lot since his first couple of years playing football at Georgia Tech and then at Charlotte. He also tested really well athletically. Like I was telling you, he's a quality athlete, an 8.10 RAS score. However, he does come with his warts. He benefited from having a really solid defensive line in front of him at South Carolina with some really, really great NFL talent. 6 years in college with a late breakout. 2, that's kind of twofold. Number 1, he's 25 years old right now. And also, it took him 6 years to have a really good season. And so I think that's a massive question mark. And he can tend to play a little fast at times. That athleticism can sometimes get the best of him. I'm not in love with his selection by any means of the word. I think that Knight can have a really good career, but I'd rather have Barrett Carter 10 picks later. He was the linebacker with Clemson. He's younger. He's more of a tackling monster, in my opinion, which is just what this team needs. He's also better in coverage, in my opinion, than Demetrius Knight is. And he fell to pick number 101 to the Detroit Lions just 10 selections later. So Demetrius Knight, that one's F for me. But other than that, I really liked all the other selections in this draft. You can look at them right here. Malaki Starks, JT Tuimoloau, and then Demetrius Knight at pick number 91. Do me a favor. Go down below in the comment section and grade this mock draft for me. Give me an A, B, C, D, or F in the comment section down below. I'll tell you my grade coming up right now. I'm giving it a B minus, a B. I don't know. I really like the JTT pick. I think the Malaki Starks pick is a really good one. Demetrius Knight one, I don't want to say I can't get past it because that sounds a little bit dramatic, but I just don't love that selection. I give this one a B. I'd be pretty happy with it, especially after round 1 and round 2. And that reminds me, we will have the best coverage right here on the Baltimore Ravens rundown. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button because the NFL draft is in just 4 days. Could not be more excited. Make sure you guys are locked in with us right here on the channel.